So I bet I know exactly what you're asking. You're asking, Judy, what the hell are you doing with all these books? Well, it's not a haul and it's not an unhaul, which means it's something else altogether, and you need to stick around to find out. So I have my books, I've got my coffee, and I'm ready to explain to you what this huge pile of books represents. Now, some of you might have watched my previous video, which I will link below, on my new challenge for 2026. So it is a series challenge and it's pretty easy. The idea of it is to read from a series that you've already started from 2025 or earlier, and one a month for 12 months of 2026. So not a tough challenge. Now, I know that with 2026 rolling up on us, everybody's creating their 26 in 26 list, okay? I decided to get a little bit more creative solely to fit my series challenge, and it is 36 in 2026. So it is 36 books, which represents 20 different series that I have already started. And these books are going to go on a priority list. So the idea behind them is to actually try to continue or finish series. So in some cases, there might be one book, some cases might be two, and in a few cases, there are three. So I thought what I'd do is I'd go through all of those books with you. Now, I'm not going to take a really long time and go into huge explanation on these series. A lot of them, I have reviewed the first books in the series already because they've already obviously been read. So you can go back and potentially look at my reviews. I do keep a playlist and I do try to tag my videos under the correct playlist. And then in the videos, I do typically list in the descriptions what books it is that I have read. And of late, I would say in the last 3-4 months, I have been time stamping them as well. So, just getting the hang of how to make my videos better for you so that you can easily go back and find things that you might be looking for. So if you wanted to see my review on something that starts a series or continues, you can actually go back and look. Okay, so we've got 36 books to cover. We're going to go through them. Now, as the series states, technically you're supposed to do one different series a month for 12 months. That is the only thing that is kind of a must to meet the challenge. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't read the next book in the series or the next book in the series. Absolutely, you can. But they then get listed below. So I'll put the graphic up so you can see the graphic. I did put, there are 36 squares. So there's 12 originals and 24 extras. So that you can do from January to December. And then you can add in the other ones from the series at the bottom. The idea, though, is not to cheat and not to use your next reads in your single monthly ones. Now, there might be a few people who don't read a lot of series and don't actually have a lot of continuation. And if, let's say, you're reading the Dungeon Crawler Carl series and you've decided to just go through the whole thing, you could technically put them in there, but it is kind of cheating. But if you don't read a lot of series, that might be the one way to participate in the challenge and still complete your series for you. The whole idea is to read more of the series that we start. Okay, enough explanation. Let's get on with it. Okay, so I've got my list and we're just going to go through them quickly here. So the first two are from Kathy Reichs, and this is part of the Temperance Brennan series. Temperance Brennan is a forensic anthropologist, and she investigates murder cases where there are only typically bones left, and that's it. So these are the next two. Now I have read up to 12. So these two, which are Spider Bones and Flash and Bones, are 13 and 14. I think Spider Bones is the next one, and then Flash and Bones is the one after that. So I will be continuing on with the series. There are like 24 books or more in the series. So clearly, this is just helping me continue on with it, right? Yeah. Okay. So the next one is similar idea. It is the Washington Poe detective series by M.W. Craven. This is Black Summer. This is the second book in the series. I read the first book maybe last month or the month, like it was recent, and absolutely loved the book, loved the two main characters, and Washington Poe and Tilly Bradshaw are the two characters that investigate, and they're going to come up in this one again. So I wanted to continue on. I think there's 8 or 9 books in the series, so it's not a huge series, but again, it is, you know, one of those ones where each book is a separate case. The Temperance Brennan series is the same way. However, with Temperance Brennan series and with this series, I find that reading from the beginning onwards helps you with the development of the characters that continue to follow through the books. So that's just my opinion. People don't, but I think some people don't care about that. And technically, each book is a separate case. Okay. That's that one. The next one is the next 2 books in the Finlay Donovan series, which is Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun and Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice. I have read the first 2, I think, in the series. Absolutely love it. You know, it's kind of it's cozy murder mystery with a mom that's a mess. Basically. So it is comedic in nature. Yeah, just absolutely love it, thoroughly enjoy it. So I can't wait to continue on. I think there are 6 or 7 books in the series, and I'm working my way through it at this point. Okay, next one. This one's a big one. So this one is the next 3 books in the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. So this is books 4, 5, and 6. So 4 is Cibola Burn. 5 is Nemesis Games. And 6 is Babylon's Ashes. Now, the first 3, like this is a 5-star read, this series so far for me. And that's with the first 3 books. I think the middle book, the second one, was like 6 stars for me. It was so, so good. Like just, I do love sci-fi. So this is definitely in my wheelhouse, okay? And it just has great characters, such a dynamic world that they're in space. But these people are real, they're raw, and yeah, just fantastic. Absolutely love it. So I cannot wait to continue with this series. I opened 2025 with the first book in this series. So, and it was so good. Leviathan Wakes is the first book. So, yeah, I can't say enough about that series. Okay, so the next one is Heat of the Everflame. Now, I had Heat of the Everflame on the list for 2025, and I decided not to read it yet because I know the first book's coming out, and I think it's coming out this year, I think. So I've held off on reading this book, and honestly, I probably won't even put it in on my TBR until I know that book is close to coming out, unless of course it shows up in the cards in the TBR game, and then it's like, well, it is what it is, right? Right. Okay. Next one is Hemlock Queen. So I read the previous book, Foxglove King, not that long ago, September. I think I read that and thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it was a 4, I think. So this is moving on to the next one in the series, and it is a fantasy series. It has magic, like a certain type of alchemy type magic. Very unusual, I thought the magic world was. And so in this particular case, this continues on with sort of the 3 key characters. Now, people have said it's a fantasy romance. Romance is very minimal, but like it is more of a developing friendship, kind of more, and it kind of goes from there. So that's what I would say about the whole romance side of this particular book. Okay, and we're just rolling right along here, which is really great. So next one is the 3rd and final book in the Lakefront Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. It is Love Arranged. Now, I have read the first 2. Now, out of the first 2 books, the second one, can't remember what that one was called. Isn't that terrible? Oh my God. It doesn't list them in here either, which is kind of strange, right? Like you would think it would list them. No. Love Redesigned, I think, was the first one. Yes. Okay. So there it is. Love Redesigned. And if I recall, the female main character was she was a designer of some sort. So that's kind of why that fell in. And then the second one, which for me was a 5-star, was Love Unwritten. And that the female main character was a songwriter. So it kind of fits into that. And oh my gosh, I loved that second book so much. Now this one, I am looking forward to it in the sense that the 2 characters that are in this book, I did like them leading up to this, obviously. So we shall see if she ends with a bang or she fizzles out to a 3, which is, I think, what the first book was for me. So we shall see, right? Right. Okay. Next book is the next 2 books in the Gods and Monsters series from Amber V. Nicole. So it is Dawn of the Cursed Queen. Is that it? Yeah, Dawn of the Cursed Queen and the Throne of the Broken Gods. So it goes like this. This is 2. This is 3. And number 4 has come out. I'm not sure how many books are in the series. I think 5. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I think that's the case. And I read the first one this year. Absolutely loved it. I think it was like 4.5 stars for me. So very good. So very much looking forward to continuing on in this book. It is a high stakes book of gods, and yeah, it's crazy. The first book was crazy, and the main character, Diana, I absolutely loved her. Loved the female main character. So I can't wait to continue on with these. Okay, we're slowly getting through the pile. Next one is A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett, and I read the first book in the series and absolutely loved it. Loved it. 5-star book for me. Just really enjoyed the fact that it kind of tied in monsters, magic, murder mystery, and with detectives. It was just yeah, loved it. so much. So that's why it's like this is on here. This is going to be a major priority for me. Now, it is a case where this book is a separate case. So they closed the case in the first book, and the two main characters are moving on into their next situation, whatever that might be, and very much looking forward to continuing on with them. So that's that one. Oh, let's put that there. We're going to slowly get more piles over here. It's going to go crazy. Okay, so the next one, there is actually two. It is the continuation of These Burning Stars, the series, and this is it's the Kingdom trilogy. So there are 3 books. This is the second one on Vicious Worlds, and the third one is coming out, but I haven't got it yet. And so it's like at the point that I'm filming this video, it has not come out yet, and that is This Brutal Moon. So that completes the series. So this is science fiction, very much science fiction, but it kind of combines a bit of magical realism, that kind of idea, in space. There is like fighting and war and yeah, just so great. And it follows these specific characters through. And yeah, loved the first one very much. So can't wait to read on, see where it's going to go. Okay, well, that's that one. Next one is again another series, and it's the next 2 books in the series, which this is book 2 and book 3. So City of Souls and Sinners and City of Lies and Legends by Kayla Edwards. I can't remember what the first book was called. It's what is this? House of Devils novel book 3, House of Devils novel book 2. So I think it was City of Gods and Monsters was the first book, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I know the 4th book has come out. I haven't gotten that one yet. Just wanted to get through these. They're monsters. Like, I think they're like 700, 800 page books. So they're quite the read to get through. But, yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. So it's one of these books where it's like she took everything that is part of fantasy books, put it in a bag, shook it all up, and put a bit of a love story in there as well. So you have shifters, you have vampires, you have magic of different kinds. I mean, it is just, it's a mixed bag, but it works, is the best way I can describe it. So super thrilled to continue on. That's why I put these on here as a priority, is like I just really want to, just really want to get to these books. But probably won't buy the 4th one until these are done, because they're so huge. And then we'll go from there with it. Again, not sure how many books are planned for the series. Whenever it ends, to me, it ends, you know? Yeah. Okay. So that's that one. All right, now we're on to the next part of the page. What have we got? So 2 more books in the Windy City series. So this is a romance, and this is The Right Move and Caught Up. I think The Right Move is next, and Caught Up is 3rd. Read the first one this year. That's Mile High, I think, was the first one. And some people said that it was one of the weakest books in the series, and I actually quite enjoyed it for a contemporary sports romance, because that's not usually my thing, but I liked the writing. I liked the characters. I loved how the whole thing came out. So continuing on with the next 2 books. And so each book is a different couple. The other thing that I kind of liked is, instead of following one baseball team or one hockey team, each book is a different sport. So I know the right move is the male main character is the brother of the female from the first book, and he's a basketball player. And in the first book, it was hockey. So, yeah, very much good to look forward to reading those. As you can see, I like a mixed bag. So that's why this sort of 36 in 2026 is going to be a mixed bag of series that I've continued because I read so much different. So this next one, again, is going to be very different. And that is the next two books in the Dark Tower series from Stephen King. So that is the Drawing of the Three and the Wastelands. So that's book 2, book 3. These are the newest versions that just came out, and I love them. They're like super floppy books, perfect size. So I did a reread of the first book because I had read the first book, and actually I think I enjoyed it more than I did from when I read it the first time. Just the characters felt deeper, and I just kind of fell into the world a little bit more. The first book is kind of like a series of short stories that lead to a culmination at the end of what happens. And yeah, I just really loved it. So I can't wait to continue on with that series with those. Okay, my coffee. Have a drink of coffee. Hold on one second. All right, there we go. So the next 3 books are probably the 3 books that I'm looking forward to the most out of all the books that I've chosen. And that is the next 3 books in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. So that is The Butcher's Masquerade, which is, I believe, the next one that I have to read. So that's that one. And then it's The Gate of the Feral Gods. Actually, this is the next one that I have to read. Yes, this is the 4th one. You can tell by the skulls on the side. So this is the 4th one. Butcher's Masquerade is the 5th one. And then this one, which is The Eye of the Bedlam Bride, is 6. So clearly I've read the first 3 books. Oh my, it's like, the whole series is 6 stars so far. Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. It is fun, great writing, lots of action, lots of character development and things happening between all of the people in the book. I loved the last book that I read, which had a ton of the other crawlers were part of it. It was just so much fun. It's not, and people are like, oh, like it's a sci-fi lit RPG. I don't know if I would consider it science fiction outside of the fact that aliens have taken over the earth, but the way the game is played is just fun. Oh my God, it's so fun. Yeah. And Carl and Princess Donut, the cat, they're the best characters. Best characters in the world, I swear. Yeah. Like so good. Can't say enough. Clearly I love the series, so I cannot wait to continue on with these. And I love the books. I love the look of the books. I even love the covers. I think they're like funky and crazy, and they kind of really represent what's inside the book. So next is the next 2 books in the series. My Roommate is a Vampire, and these ones are, this is the next one, which is my Vampire +1, and then this one just came out, and it's a road trip with a vampire. These are by Jenna Levine, and I read, I think in the summer, the first book. Like, loved it. It was just so great, such a fun rom-com. I am one of these people that when it comes to contemporary romance, I actually quite enjoy a rom-com. So very much up my alley, so to speak. So I will be continuing on with this series for sure. I'm not sure this is it, or because it's different couples each time. So she keeps writing them. I'll keep reading them. Yeah, because that's how much I really enjoy them. All right, so the next one is the next book in Allie Hazelwood's series that started with Bride, and I loved Bride. That was 5 stars for me, so very much looking forward to Mate. Now in this one, a different couple, same world, and the female character was best friends with the female character from Bride. So it's not a continuation, but I think you have to read the first one in order to appreciate who these people are in this one. Just my opinion. Just giving you my opinion. That's it. Okay. Next one is Everybody Wants to Rule the World Except Me by Django Wexler. And the first book was How to Become a Dark Lord and Die Trying. A little picture on the back because I never remember these super long titles, but I did enjoy the book very much. And it's just a duology. So it finishes in this book. So I absolutely want to read this book and get the series, the 2-part duology finished. So that's why this one's on the list. Okay. In the first one, the main character is going through a time loop. And in the time loop, each time she dies. So she decides, or this is right at the beginning of the book, she decides that she is going to change things up and make very different decisions from what she typically has been doing. And from what I can gather, for a really long time, this has been going on. And these different decisions lead her into being a Dark Lord. It's insanely funny, but it's a good book. So, love that. Next one is another romance that I have on the list, which is continuing the series. First one by Devney Perry was Indigo Ridge, and it is a romantic suspense. I love romantic suspense. I like Devney Perry's writing, so I enjoyed Indigo Ridge. Juniper Hill is next on the list. Looking forward to reading that. Well, that's that one. Then next we have 2 that go together again, and that is the next 2 in the follow-ups from the Beartown series. And in this case, you absolutely have to read the first book. This is the second book. This is the third book. So this is Us Against You by Fred McBackman and The Winners by Fred McBackman. And Beartown is a story about a hockey team in a small town, and something goes down and the consequences of that. And then it continues the stories of these kids, I think, and even the adult. Like, the first book had so many points of view, but it was like everybody in the town cared. And that's kind of why you kind of get that as you go through. Just, I loved it so much. So for sure, continuing on that series. Okay, we're almost done. Almost done. So the next 2 books are the next ones in the series of Assistant to the Villain. So the next book is The Apprentice to the Villain is next. And then the third one is Accomplice to the Villain. And I think, did another one come out? I don't know. I think this is the most recent one, but if there's more, I will read them after I read these 2. Okay. And so Assistant to the Villain, I read, loved it, like thoroughly, enjoyed it. It was just it was fun, but also a little bit sad, but great characters. It just, yeah, really enjoyed it. So looking forward to seeing where things go, because Assistant to the Villain did end in a cliffhanger. So, yeah. And the last, it should technically be 2, but I haven't got the next one yet. I have it on pre-order because all of the covers are being redone So there will be new cover reveals, and I think it's coming, it's saying, I wrote down April 7th is when the next new cover for A Faint Cold Fear. So this was Blindsided was the first, or Blindsided. Can't remember what the first one. Sorry. Well, that's what happens when there's too many books in a freaking series. This is the Grant, is it Grant County? Grant County, okay. So that is where the series takes place. It is a murder investigation type series. The main character, she's a coroner, and her ex-husband is a sheriff. So that is in the first book, and I really did love the first book. So this is the next one, which is Kiss Cut, and then the next one after that is A Faint Cold Fear. So I also have that in the list. That's going to round out our 36 books. Okay, so that is 36 in 2026. Now, out of the 36, I think I've mentioned this before, but there are 20 series. So I have more than enough series to fill in those first 12 from January to December boxes on the challenge sheet. Okay, so then everything else will flow in below. So I will be making a concentrated effort when I'm choosing my TBR to make sure that I'm choosing some different ones, not the same series all the time. Even though, as much as I want to choose all 3 Dungeon Crawler Carl books, I will not do that. Because I don't want it to finish too fast, you know? So good. Anyway, so that's it for this video. I think that I do have another surprise challenge that I'm working on. That's going to be probably in your next video or next couple ones after that. Again, yep, another challenge. Challenging myself. Of course, you're welcome to follow along if you want to. And that's it for today. And hopefully there might even be some books in there that you want to read, or series that you forgot about. And believe me, these aren't the only series that I have started. I have a ton more that could go on the list if they get read. Okay, so just wanted to say that, and we'll see you in the next video.